Hi everyone. I want to thank you all for joining me this morning. Um, I know we've had a few technical difficulties, so I'd like to apologize for those, and I hope that those of you who have been looking for us uh, get something significant out of the presentation this morning. My name is Matt Maturko, and I'm the coordinator of international student enrollment here at the University of Florida. And I'm going to talk with you about applying to graduate school. So the plan for today is to talk very briefly about the University of Florida and some of the unique features about the university as a place to pursue graduate study. And then I'll talk a little bit about the general application requirements and then answer some of your questions. To begin, I want to highlight 4 specific components of our campus that I think are unique compared to many institutions around the United States. Our campus is a comprehensive flagship institution. So we have a wide range of academic programs that serve a large number of students, both from the state of Florida, from the United States, as well as from around the world. We are a globally competitive public university here in the state of Florida. We have a wide range of research facilities both here in Gainesville as well as throughout the state. And we have a good off-campus life both connected to the university as well as the surrounding community. So to start, our student population is about 50,000 students overall. We have about 35,000 undergraduates and 12,000 graduate students who attend one of the more than 100 undergraduate programs and more than 200 graduate programs at the university. Our international student population is fairly large here on our campus. We have the 16th largest population of international students of any U.S. institution. We have about 5,500 international students on campus from over 130 different countries. Many of our international students are graduate students. Only a small number are actually undergraduates. So about 30% of our graduate students are international students. One of the real assets to the University of Florida is that we have a wide range of academic programs that are assigned and administered through specific colleges where you can pursue a focused type of study. So we actually have 16 colleges here at the University of Florida. And you can pursue a wide range of study from the agricultural and biological sciences, biomedical sciences, engineering, as well as a number of professional degrees in our colleges of nursing, business administration, law, pharmacy, dentistry, as well as a number of other specialized graduate programs that you can pursue. So there are many graduate programs that you may wish to pursue, and you're likely to find them here at the University of Florida. There are a few programs that we don't have, and we do provide a wide range compared to many of our peer institutions. We're also a globally competitive institution, so we're recently ranked 14th in the United States out of all top public universities. We're also ranked 72nd worldwide in the academic ranking of world universities in the most recent edition of that. And we're also considered relatively good value for students outside the state of Florida. So we were recently ranked 11th for the best value for students who are out of state who attend the University of Florida. Many of our students pursue graduate study at one of our centers in institutes. And we have a wide range of research facilities that our students can participate in and pursue their own research either in area studies, in the biomedical and agricultural and life science areas of research, as well as a wide range of other fields, depending upon what your academic interest is. I have a selection of our centers and institutes listed here, but we do have over 100 centers and institutes, as well as related research facilities, both on our campus and throughout the state of Florida. In addition to doing research in our centers and institutes, one of the unique features of the University of Florida is that our students can participate in research for the public good, both for the state of Florida as well as for facing global problems that are coming up for future generations. So many of our students and faculty pursue research and then try to transfer that out to the marketplace in order to best utilize that research for wide application outside the classroom. So we have a campus that's being developed specifically next to the main campus here in Gainesville for innovation research, as well as developing techniques for implementing this technology outside the university realm. And I'd also like to highlight that our life science research centers are based, I believe we have 12 life science research centers based outside of the Gainesville area. And we have faculty and staff based specifically in those locations to do targeted research on a wide range of physical and agricultural and life science research in those locations. The last thing I'd like to highlight about our campus is that we have a wide range of non-academic activities that students can participate in when they're not studying. So our athletics programs are typically very competitive in a number of sports, including football and basketball, as well as baseball. So many of our students attend games throughout the year. We also have a wide range of arts and recreational opportunities here in Gainesville. We have a UF Cultural Plaza, which includes our Performing Arts Center, which has national and international arts and recreational acts coming through probably twice to 3 times a month, as well as our Florida Museum of Natural History, which has one of the largest collections of butterflies in the world, and our Harn Museum of Art. We also have 1,200 acres of county parks, or about 5 square kilometers of parks in the area, and many of our students, faculty, and staff use bike trails to either pursue their own recreation or to commute to work as well. So we do have a very active community, both in terms of doing research on campus as well as doing fun things outside the classroom. Our specific location is in north central Florida in Gainesville. We are about 2 hours driving distance from Jacksonville, Orlando, and Tampa. So there are large city opportunities outside the city of Gainesville, but our city is actually a small city of about 120,000 people, and about 50,000 of those are students. So we're a relatively small city, but within driving distance of larger opportunities for people who'd like to see some other parts of the state of Florida, including the beach either on the Atlantic Ocean side or on the Gulf Coast side. Our weather is pretty temperate, although this time of year, I think much of the United States is pretty cold today and this week. So the average January high temperature is about 18 degrees Celsius. Today we'll probably reach about 17 degrees Celsius, but this will be one of our coldest days of the year. So that is one of the unique features of our state institution, that we do have pretty temperate and warm weather throughout the year. And recently our city, Gainesville, has also been considered a unique place in college town for pursuing academic study. So to transition to talk a little bit about our application and admissions requirements, students can apply to one of 3 terms for graduate study. You can apply for the fall term, the spring term, or the summer term. Generally speaking, application deadlines will occur in the fall, and most of our programs do not have admission outside of the fall cycle. So to apply for fall 2014, you want to submit your application generally sometime between December and February, depending upon the specific deadline for the graduate program you're applying to. If you're looking for spring admission, which may be available in some of our engineering programs, as well as some of our physical science programs, the admissions timeline for those applications is between September and November. So there may be a possibility of applying for spring admission, but it's quite likely that our programs aren't accepting applications for spring admission at this point. And summer admission is fairly unique, and you'd want to check with your specific graduate program of interest to see if summer admission is available for you. To apply to the University of Florida, you must have one of three components in your academic background. You'll need to have a degree equivalent to U.S. bachelor's degree, you'll need to provide English language test scores, and I've listed our 3 scores that we accept here at the University of Florida. The IELTS test, we require a 6.0 overall on the test. We accept the MELAB test, as well as the TOEFL internet-based test score of 80 is our minimum. We do accept the paper-based test in locations where that's an option, but more than likely the test score that you'll be submitting is the IBT test. And we also require the GRE for graduate study, the general GRE test, and the minimum score we have at the graduate school is a minimum of 140 on the verbal section. Each graduate program may set higher minimums than the language minimums that we have here or the GRE test minimum, so you'll want to check with each graduate program for those specific minimums. Our general application has 5 components to it. There's the online application, the statement of purpose, the test scores, your official transcripts and diploma or degree certificate, as well as letters of reference. Specifically in the application, one item that we have a lot of questions on is our international credentials and how we process them here at the University of Florida. For us, we do not require an external review of your international credentials. We have international credentials experts here at the University of Florida who will review your materials to determine if your degree is equivalent to a U.S. bachelor's degree. And if there are any questions about that review, or if your degree is determined not to be equivalent to a U.S. bachelor's degree, we do accept external reviews and then evaluate those and take them into consideration in consultation with the graduate program you're applying to. So the application process here is managed by 2 separate offices. The Office of Admissions will receive your transcripts, official degree certificates, as well as your online application, and they will be calculating the conversion of your degree, or of the equivalency of your degree to a U.S. bachelor's degree. And you'll also be submitting materials to graduate programs here at the University of Florida, where there are program level requirements set by the program, and you'll need to complete any additional application requirements that they have added throughout the process. So some programs may require a CV or a resume, portfolio, or a writing sample or statement of previous or proposed research. So you'll need to be sure that you have a complete list of all of those materials that your graduate program will require. So at this point, I'd like to wrap things up, and certainly you can feel free to send me an email at any time in the future if you have questions, but I'm going to go through the questions that have been submitted so far, and I'll be happy to answer questions for the next little while if anyone has anything extra they'd like to ask. So it looks like we have a few questions here. So I have a question from Tareem Fatima about doing a PhD program here, and if there are any scholarships available. And that's a very good question. So all of our graduate students who apply can be considered for both scholarships as well as assistantships. There's an option on the application where you're allowed to nominate or select that you would like to be nominated for both assistantships and scholarships or fellowships, and you'll automatically be considered in your graduate program's decision-making process. So that's certainly something that you can do, and you can indicate that early on in the application process. So there's another question about full scholarships or funding for astronomy students. And one thing I'd like to offer to anyone particularly looking for PhD study is that each of our programs, as I said, does provide their own funding, and you'll want to indicate that you'd like to be nominated for an assistantship or fellowship. But we do have a website called our PhD Program Profiles on the academic section of the graduate school's website. And in the PhD Program Profiles, it indicates the history of students who have been admitted and have applied to the University of Florida, and who's enrolled So it'll indicate how many students are international students for a particular program, how many students receive funding, and how many students graduate, and what their job placement is. So that's something that I think would be able to provide specific information about past funding, and to give you some idea about funding that's available at the university. So I've got a question about the University of Florida, whether or not we do offer scholarships as a public university. And so I'd like to say that we do offer scholarships to international students, and that's fairly typical for us, because we provide as much support as possible for our graduate students. So we don't have a lot of funding for undergraduate study, but for graduate study at the University of Florida, many of our international students receive either a scholarship or an assistantship to provide support for a student's entire graduate career. So it looks like I've gone through a number of questions here. If there aren't any last-minute questions, which I'd be happy to answer now, as I said, please feel free to email me at some other time in the future, and I'd be happy to follow up with you. It looks like we've got one more question about academic study in sciences or technology in something like robotics. So we do have an aerospace and mechanical engineering program here, which is fairly large, and I believe there is research being done on robotics in that department. But you would want to look at the specific faculty members doing research in that program to see if there are a number of faculty working specifically in robotics. So my email address should be listed on the slide, so that's a good question. If I can also read it off here. My email address is mmiterko, so that's mmItterko @aa.ufl.edu. And you can also find my information listed on the Graduate School's website at graduateschool.ufl.edu. So if there aren't any more questions, I'd like to thank you all for joining me this morning, and I hope you have a good rest of your day, and I'd be happy to help you through the rest of the application process. Thanks.